If you're thinking about getting cichlids, there's one mistake I see beginners make all the time. They walk into the fish store, see all those amazing colors, and buy fish based on looks alone. Then, weeks later, they're dealing with aggression, stressed fish, or fish that simply just don't belong together. Today we're talking about some of the most popular cichlids in the hobby, all the way from blood parrots to peacocks to Mbunas. We're going to cover where they come from, what makes them unique, and which ones I think are best for beginners. And if you're looking to set up your first African cichlid tank, make sure you check out my cichlid tank setup video after this one, and I'll link it right here for you guys. Now let's jump right into it. First things first, yellow labs, electric blues, peacock cichlids all come from Lake Malawi in Africa. Lake Malawi is famous for producing some of the most colorful freshwater fish in the whole entire world. Yellow labs and electric blues belong to a group called Mbuna. Now these are rock-dwelling cichlids that love structure, caves, and territories. Peacock cichlids come from the same lake, but they tend to spend more time out in open water. Then you got blood parrots, which is completely different. They're hybrid cichlids that were developed in captivity and they don't naturally occur in the wild. Now before we get into the fish themselves, let's just cover a few basics. Most of these fish do well in temperatures between 76 degrees and 80 degrees. I usually tell beginners to think 55 gallons as a minimum, but honestly 75 gallons gives you a lot more room for success. More water volume, more swimming space, which leads to less aggression. When it comes to feeding, I like to keep things super simple. A quality cichlid pellet should do. It should be the foundation of the diet. And yellow labs are considered omnivores, meaning they eat both plant and animal matter in nature, which is one reason why they're such an adaptable fish. For me, I like to add frozen foods into the rotation throughout the week just to give the fish some variety. And whenever you are feeding them, make sure you don't overfeed them, because I promise you these fish will convince you that they're starving every time they see you, but I promise you they're not. Now let's talk about one of my favorite beginner fish, the yellow lab. If somebody asked me today what African cichlid they should start with tomorrow, I would definitely say a yellow lab. That would be on the top of my list. They are bright, active, hardy, and compared to many other Mbuna, they're usually easier to manage. What I really like about them is that they bring a lot of color without bringing a lot of problems. That's why they stay popular for so many years. Now on the other side of the tank, you got the electric blues. These fish can absolutely steal the show. I mean, blue is my daughter and husband's favorite color, and that bright blue coloration pops from across the room. But make no mistake, they're still Mbuna. They like territory and they like structure, and they aren't afraid to remind other fish whose area they're swimming through. If you're building a Lake Malawi tank, electric blues can be an incredible addition when they're stocked correctly. Then we have the peacock cichlids. This is where a lot of hobbyists completely fall in love with the African cichlid family. The colors are unreal. Reds, blues, oranges, yellows. That's the reason why people become obsessed with collecting different types of peacocks. Compared to the Mbuna, peacocks often bring a different energy to the tank. They still have personality, but many hobbyists enjoy the balance between the color and the behavior that the peacocks offer. Now let's talk about blood parrots. These fish are in a category of their own. A lot of people don't just keep blood parrots, they become attached to them. They're curious, they're interactive, and they often become the first fish people notice when they walk into a room. They're so cute, they're absolutely adorable, and that's part of what makes them so popular. At the end of the day, no matter which cichlid you choose, success comes down to the basics. Clean water, good filtration, proper tank size, quality food, and having a plan before you start buying fish. One thing that's helped me over the years is paying attention to the male to female ratios. A ratio of 1 male to 4 to 5 females can often create a much more stable community and help spread the aggression around. So if I had to recommend one fish for somebody getting into African cichlids for the first time, I'd probably still recommend the yellow lab. They're colorful, they're hardy, they're active, and they're one of the easiest introductions to the world of African cichlids. But I want to hear from you guys. What's the best beginner cichlid in your opinion? Drop it down below in the comments and let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and if you're new, check out my African cichlid tank setup video, and keep an eye out for my next video where I'll show you how to set up your own beginner-friendly tropical community tank. Until next time, keep those tanks clean, and I'll see you guys in the next one.